Hi guys. Oh, dog. My dogs are always in the way. But happy Sunday. We are here. We are live. I'm tired, but I showed up. This was supposed to be at 4, but y'all, come on now. I posted 2 videos today. Like I get a little leeway for being late. But our live today, we are supposed to be talking about the mess that is, and just like that, the Sex and the City spinoff series from hell. The Sex and the City spinoff series that should have never been made. No, it's more so the Sex and the City spinoff series that I just should have never watched. I mean, honestly. But after the debacle that was episode 3, because I have not seen episode 4 yet. I was supposed to see it this morning and then record my video and get it up, but y'all, it ain't happen. I had to make sure I had energy to make sure I was gonna be live by somewhere between 4 and 5. So I was like, you know what? That ain't gonna happen today. But after the debacle that was episode 3, I was like, you know what? I need to this writers podcast that they have for And Just Like That, because people was talking about it last season, but I really paid no attention to it. Like, really, I mean, why would I care? The show speaks for itself. The writers are terrible imbeciles. I don't want to talk about them people. I don't want to call them people names. I don't know them, but you know what I mean. But after episode, it felt like, who could possibly think this is good? Who could think this is relatable? Who could think this is entertainment? So I was like, you know what? I want to see this dang writers podcast. But then I was like, you know what? Let's watch it together. Let's have a conversation about these dang writers together. So that's what we're going to do. And I haven't really heard the podcast. Like, I played it and kind of skimmed, like fast forwarded, like to kind of pop in and out to see what they were talking about. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's have this conversation. Let's see what they're talking about. But hey, Erica. Hey, Monique. We're gonna see what these writers are talking about, child. We're gonna have the conversation together. Because if I gotta suffer, everybody, we gotta just all suffer together. So this is what we're gonna do. We finna check out this podcast. Now, let's see. We're gonna do episode 3. That's the one I kind of skimmed. And that was the episode that really just made me like, yo, these people are really, like, they're nuts. Like, they so I just would like to hear them kind of, you won't say justify the episode, but I just want to see their thought process. Like the whole mom's oogling the kid at the school, old boy not getting the taxi. I just want to hear what they got to say. Like, y'all, okay, so let's kind of, now it's a long behind thing, but we ain't finna just sit here through the whole thing, but we gonna kind of skim and just see what they talking about. So let's start it at the beginning. And we're gonna put this mug on the, I already got it on the fast playback.
Some guy just texted me.
I'm not a take to the bed type.
Now she's got COVID? That's very off-brand for her.
Hi, everyone. This is And Just Like That, The Writer's Room, the official companion podcast from Max. I'm Michael Patrick King, writer, director, and executive producer of And Just Like That. Here with me is executive producer and writer Julie Rottenberg.
Hi.
And executive producer and writer Elisa Zaritsky.
Hello.
And consulting producer writer Susan Fales Hill.
Bonjour.
Oh, she's French today. Here we go. Today, we get to discuss episode number 3, which is called Chapter 3. This is written by Julie Rottenberg and Elisa Zaritsky. And last year, you wrote the 3rd episode. And I remember a lot of nail biting over it for some reason.
What is it about number 3? Why?
I
was hoping somebody would have the answer, because
I think it's that
what
the
is it?
first one, we're back. We spend a lot of time like,
Resetting
what are we
the
doing
table.
this season?
Mhm.
Yes, we're rocket ship launched. The second one, we're kind of finishing the meal that we have started serving in the first one. I think it's that in the third, we're sort of between the first act and the rest of the production.
The interesting thing about the third episode is it's kind of like the proof of the pudding. It's kind of like the motor. It's kind of like the first two
What?
were like a little bit of a fireworks display.
Mhm.
And
Wait,
then the
what?
third one is like, here we go. And last year we cracked it storyline.
Now, he said the third episode is the proof in the pudding, the motor, fireworks. Is he just throwing out phrases and words? Because, okay, did anybody catch fireworks in episode 3? And what is he talking about? Proof in the pudding? Like, proof of what? Y'all, what are they talking? I already don't know what they're talking about. Like, what are they even talking about? And, okay.
And it was a nice combination of fast and farcical.
Mhm.
And this third episode called Chapter 3, which refers to the third chapter in Carrie's sad memoir about the death of Big. And if you haven't seen the third episode, Chapter 3 yet, please
If
stop
you
listening
haven't
to
seen
us.
the
You might
third
enjoy it more
episode,
if you
you
know
are
what we're
truly
talking about.
blessed
And
and
go
highly
watch it.
favored.
And if you've just come back, welcome back to Chapter 3. But this is different because this episode is the one episode up front that we wanted to deal with the loss.
We didn't want to pretend that
Now, okay, going into episode 3, their whole agenda, per Michael just now, is to deal with the loss, have Carrie deal with the death of Big or whatever. Okay, fine. Okay, great agenda. Let's check that off. But literally rehashing what the audience has already seen when what we saw wasn't even spectacular. I mean, okay, let me let this man talk. But like I said, the agenda is fine, but what we actually got, the product, should have stayed on the shelf. But here we go.
season 2, everything's great. It's just going to be fun, met balls and pretty clothes. But it was hard. It was definitely
It was
hard
very
because
Has
we also
anybody
felt,
seen Pretty Clothes on the
at least
show
I
yet?
will say, I felt
I haven't.
pressure to make sure it was still funny.
Elisa,
Whoa,
you
whoa,
feel a
whoa,
lot of
whoa. This lady said she felt pressure to make sure things are funny. Has anything been fun? Lady, okay, you know what? It's Sunday. This is the Sabbath. I ain't finna go too hard on this later, but baby, the pressure you feeling must be the pressure of a feather, because nothing has been funny, hun.
pressure all the time. But you feel
It's my
pressure about
brand.
this. Pressure to make the sad wound funny. Well, that's what we do, right?
Yes, because look, people are tuning into our show to be entertained, to have some escapism, to get away from their own whatever is bumming them out. They are
Your
looking to
show
us
is
to
bumming
sort of
me
lift
out.
them out of it. So how do you lift them out while showing that our heroine is still not quite over this big
I
loss?
think you had the hardest task with this episode because it's such an emotional anchor and it's always difficult to dramatize grief.
We also wanted to be true to the reality of someone who's lost a spouse, which is it's not a straight line from grief to release and acceptance.
Based on women that we know and people that we know who have lost a spouse or a partner, it's an ongoing journey. And in
And
fiction,
sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we felt that we wouldn't be doing justice to the reality of the situation if we just had Carrie off and flying and going from having sex with Franklin to her professional, everything that's left in the season that you will all enjoy. And we knew it, we wanted to do it around this episode, but we also wanted to find a way to do it without her being.
we definitely didn't
that
want to
was-
have her in bed. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the episode, she says, I'm not the type of person who takes in my bed. And then, of course, she does with Lisette.
No, y'all. She's not the type of person who takes to her bed. Now, we already experienced this. And I said in my video for episode 3, I was calling Carrie out without calling her out, because I'm like, Carrie, hun, we know that is actually the exact type of person you are, but I ain't even gonna bring the receipts. But y'all was in the comments with the receipts, because the whole Carrie doesn't wallow, she don't take to her bed. She has done that. She did it on the Mexico trip when Samantha had to spoon feed her. Like, I don't know what character these people are talking about, but they ain't talking about Carrie.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, Carrie Bradshaw was destroyed and is moving through life nobly. And because we're writers, what we do
Noble?
when something bad happens, correct,
Yes,
Susan? We
absolutely.
write it. We
Mhm.
turn it into something else. We try to change it into a product. I mean, I feel bad for people that don't write, because when something bad
Right.
happens, they just have
How
to
do you
sit there
deal
with
with
it.
Yeah,
it?
we have an automatic catharsis through our writing, but often we try to make it funny, as they were saying,
Well,
as Elisa.
Because the
and-
sad is
yes,
sad.
it's
So,
too hard to
well,
live.
it's too,
Yeah.
too hard to live
Yeah,
with. And
just
here we
sit
had
with
to
it.
actually be comfortable exactly sitting in that pain.
and the is Carrie's a writer. That's not a surprise.
Now, this might be the only thing I can agree with these folks on, because I'm a writer and I've been writing since my first memory. So I'll agree with them on, like, I do often say I don't know what people who don't write do. And I do feel like you can find comedy in anything, even the tragic. I couldn't get through life if I didn't write out my thoughts and feelings. This probably gonna be the only time in the history of life that I agree with these folks. But you know what? I'll give y'all that. Okay, I want to say something nice.
Surprise, because that's what we do. So we knew that Carrie had written a book, and we thought, okay, for this season, if you write a book, you have to go down the press junket with it. And one of the things we love about Carrie, even in the first season of In Just Like That.
Now, he just said when you write a book, you have to go down the press junket. Now, I ain't never been on a press junket, but ain't the press junket when you actually go out promoting the book, like maybe going to book signings and doing an interview or something? The press junket is not standing in the studio with the man who don't wear deodorant recording the audio book. Like, whatever the agenda was of Carrie is still dealing with this loss, I'm just stuck on why the hell we had to rehash it, and like all the extras they added in that scene. Like, didn't you hear like the shower running or something in that scene in episode 3? Y'all, I really can't even hardly remember. Like, I be trying to just, it's like, how somebody go through something traumatic and your brain just erases it for you. That's how I feel this show. My brain just erases it. That's the only way I can go on. But they were so over dramatic in that scene with Carrie trying to read that chapter, but also it just wasn't good television. But you know what? Let me let these people have it.
Is she doesn't parade her grief. She almost doesn't want to take up too much time with it. It was all private last season, like a lot of her by herself, because she didn't want to drag her friends through it, which is what this episode was.
It's very funny that they're saying Carrie does not want to drag her friends through her grief. Now, I'll bet people can change, but do y'all remember when Carrie was going through a breakup and her friends were so tired of her that they told her to like go see a therapist because they were sick of her dragging them through all this? But I mean, look, people can change and grow. I mean, Carrie has not had any growth or change, but people can change and grow. So I'm gonna give Carrie that. Maybe now she don't want to drag them through it.
Winds up being about the second chapter of that. But the fun thing about it is, how do we get her to deal with it? So she has to record her book. And
so these writers' imagination is so limited that when they think, how can we get Carrie to deal with this grief? The only viable option they came up with is, oh, I know how. We'll have her struggling to read the chapter of Big's death in her book. That's the best y'all came up with. I mean, come on, people. I mean, please.
And the fun thing about that is she hasn't really dealt with it. And now she's going to be dealing with it in a public arena with witnesses.
And I will say, and this was one of these episodes where we went in there, we thought we understood the story, we broke it down, we started writing it, and we kept hitting a wall.
You thought y'all understood the story. Y'all don't understand no stories. Y'all don't understand story, Tori, or nobody. Like, y'all don't understand Toy Story. What is it? You know what? Let me not give myself a heart attack, but these people is raising my blood pressure. Y'all don't understand story, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Around getting her from the recording of the book to having this breakdown, taking to her bed, eventually lying to her friends. And
the bed y'all just said
at a certain point realized Michael, sorry, you can't see me pointing to Michael. You figured it out when they're at that lunch and Charlotte says to Carrie, how's the book going? We're all so impressed at how well you're doing. And
a lot meant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helped. And also it was a way for us
we talked enough about Carrie and her
pain. And then when you finally handed in the draft that we shot, I directed this episode, Michael, and there was a line that you wrote, and this is an interesting thing, what writing can do to a director. There was a line you wrote, which is something that you don't usually write on the show. When Carrie looks down at the book, it says, it seems to her as though the words are blurring on the page. That's a stage direction. And I went, well, let's really go in her head. Since you as writers already went inside her head rather than picturing it in an outside place. We're already in there. And then I decided, well, let's go really surreal. Let's have the walls close in on her.
Which we never do.
Take
like
all
that
the sound away.
Idea.
Let's really go inside.
And the graphics of the
y'all shut up.
Premiere. But that was a revelation because that suddenly felt funny to us. And I
what felt funny to y'all, babe?
We spent the entire season 1 mostly ignoring, except for one or two references in the premiere.
Am I the only person that prefers for my movies and TV shows to just not mention COVID at all? Like, I don't want to see nobody with masks. I don't want to see nobody it irked me when we got all those pandemic stuff in our movies and shows. I don't like that. Like, am I the only person? Like, it's perfectly fine for y'all to not mention it. We're watching fantasy. This is not a PBS documentary. You don't have to put real life situation into the show. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. But hey, maybe I'm the only one. Maybe people will feel like it's unrealistic if we don't see folks with masks and all that stuff on the show. I am not one of those people.
Here, but that was a revelation because that suddenly felt funny to us, and I believe
Wait. That suddenly felt fun.
it
Okay.
was Michael's idea too.
I think it was.
The fact
Because
of the
we
matter
were
is we-
realizing it was a get out of jail free card.
It's a get out
Yes.
of jail free card.
Now I feel bad about lying to my publisher. And worse, about lying to my two oldest friends.
So her
they've
making
already
up the
been
lie
so
about
different.
COVID is what they thought
You know,
was
I just
funny.
can't put them through more of this. I mean, there's got to be like an expiration date on how much grief you can ask a friend to support.
Well, not if they're true friends. I wasn't there for the first round, but I am now. I'm all ears.
I hate feeling sorry for myself.
Also, the nobility of Carrie in the
Wait,
storyline. Her
Seema,
impatience.
I'm thinking about this now. Seema talking about she wasn't there the first time around. Wasn't Seema around? Was Seema not around when Big died? Because I feel like she did something that upset Carrie. Didn't she break a photo or? Y'all, what am I thinking of? I can't think. F the show. That's not worth my memory.
With herself that's so poignant that she feels like she should be over it and the strength, and yet we're all feeling for her.
Which I it's one of the things that I love about writing for this show is that, you know, in addition to getting to know the new characters better this season, there's still stones to turn over with the old characters. Like, we didn't know until Carrie became a widow what kind of griever she would be. But you sort of, it fills in for you. Oh, she doesn't want to sit around. She doesn't want to dwell. She keeps her feet moving.
She's
And
not
then,
self-pitying.
in
Yeah.
the machinery of writing, we know, like, as Julie has said, we've sat dangerously in sadness for the viewer. So then it's like, okay, what's the smelling salts? How do we get them back? On Carrie Bradshaw, shoes. So the next thing that happens is she busts in the door in a very, very Sex and the City montage with way too many
Very
shoes.
over the top.
I mean, like 70 pairs of
It's a
shoes.
shoe orgy.
It's
It's a
a-
shoe orgy.
It is a shoe orgy. By design,
Now,
it's a shoe
people say
orgy.
shoe
And
orgies
still,
cannot be
it doesn't
writers.
quite get her to the place.
Let's fast forward.
Was set at Bergdorf's.
I know. I know.
Keeping 3. And I said, what? She said, yeah, she's sending back 57 boxes. She's keeping 3.
Oh, I love
it in
that.
She just like got a random,
Yeah.
like, fill it up. And then
Right.
she's going to send them all back.
I'm going
which
to test drive them at
I'm
home.
going to trust them. And some of those shoes, by the way, I edited the show so that you can see as many shoes as possible, including the
That insane-
deflated red balloon,
Oh, yeah.
which is on every runway right now. And it was like, we were the first to put,
Ew, those ugly clown nose shoes is on every runway. Child, you know what? I'ma just yeah, I'll just stick to the Nikes and the waterfalls that I'm used to. If those shoes are on the runway, all right, rich folk, y'all got it.
the deflated red balloon
You
shoe.
know
And
what's
I had to
crazy, Len?
manipulate it so people could see it going on her
Oh, yeah.
foot.
I saw
Right.
her going, what the hell is
But,
this?
things are important to people. And in a bad time or to fill a hole, things become even more important. And that's the Seema story. The Seema gets her purse robbed. And that birth of that story was New York's crime was up, but it happened to be up when we started writing.
That low-life motherfucker.
Can
What
you be more
the
specific?
Someone just stole my Birkin.
When we just
No,
talking
where?
about
Right in
Where
front of
my
my goddamn
place?
townhouse, like in broad daylight. What's happening to the city?
One day when we were coming to the set, Julie, you had actually just seen a robbery on Madison Avenue, 2 men
Literally,
making off
with
with
packages, right?
a UPS guy's boxes, like right in front of my face. We were
Now
shooting.
hold on now,
blocks away.
Julie. What did you do? Because they wrote it. Well, Seema is yelling for people like, "Why you ain't helping? Why you ain't doing nothing?" So, excuse me, Julie. What did you do when you saw them men stealing them boxes?
And it was a chance for us, we who live in New York, and I'm going to include Michael in
Yeah.
that, even though he's, technically bi-coastal, but his heart is in New York.
It's something about
The
Michael. I don't
complicated
like.
relationship
Like,
we
I
all
don't
have
know what.
is it's
what it
really
is.
stressful and
just listen to this,
expensive,
I don't like
and
Michael.
in moments filled with crime and unexpected, possibly scary situations. But we love it, and it's part of why we love
Yeah.
it, maybe because it's
Absolutely.
so
So-
challenging.
Can
Part
we
of
point
why
out
they
that it's
love
not
New
just
York is
any
'cause it's
purse,
scary and
it's
it's
the
fun.
sacred Birkin,
It's a
which
Birkin.
Thank you.
enshrined in
Thank
the
you.
original
I
series.
like your, how did you pronounce Birkin?
Birkin.
But
Yo,
as I said,
their
yeah.
podcast
No.
is almost as boring as their TV
And this
show.
is
It's sort of an old friend.
Yeah, and when you see, so she could say to Carrie, I was in a fetal position over a Birkin, not that I'm equating the two. And she's
But
like,
you kind of are.
But that's the fun of having Seema have an attachment to a thing and really go for the grief.
And also to show Carrie being as generous as she is in that moment, where she says, "No, you're allowed to be
Yes,
upset."
it meant
Yes,
something
it
to
meant
you.
something.
Right, right. And the episode really starts with Carrie walking past a jewelry show being set up that's Lisette, her downstairs neighbor. I mean, there's so much that goes into writing, but like the first thing was like reminding the audience who Lisette was. So the writer's
Because we'll
challenge
give
is
a
like,
cool set is.
how do you remind the audience who've seen Lisette maybe once or twice? Once
Last
maybe.
Y'all
And she
giving
was
us different
basically
characters.
crying in her hall.
Mhm.
How do you remind them who the character is immediately? And Julie and Elise came up with that line. I thought you only existed in the vestibule of our building, which, look,
a
That
terrible
is the
line.
most
but
artistic
whatever.
exposition.
Carrie comes across the set in Bryant Park, where she is watching, very sweetly, watching the workmen set up the diamond tents for her Bulgari designer show. She's one of the 3 designers to watch. We wanted to remind the audience that she was a designer, and we wanted to show her a little bit embarrassed about the fact that she was young enough and happy enough and excited enough to see them set it up. So she asked Carrie to come, and in friendship, Carrie does go, even though feeling bad.
What
Because friends
friendship
are
do
important
they
to Carrie,
have,
and new friends.
y'all? Last time, okay, look, child, I can't. Carrie just be breaking into this late apartment. They just said we saw the girl once or twice last season. I can't remember all logistics, but I remember wasn't that when the folks was being loud on the stoop or whatever when Carrie couldn't sleep? What friendship? But hey, maybe I'm tripping. Whatever, child. They got friendship, child.
And she knows how much it means. So she takes herself out of her grief and goes to the
Jewelry opening.
And of course, Bryant Park is the home to Fashion Week, and it's kind of
Well,
fun.
it was the home to Fashion Week, back when the Birkin was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, and now we actually filmed there, which was really exciting. But that's important because she represents, to me in the show, she represents the journey to come, and Carrie's on the journey that was, and what doesn't know what her journey to come is. But the idea of somebody just starting out and Carrie reflecting that loss so well, and then Lizette saying,
why
to her,
do they spend so much of? We are about 19 minutes into this podcast, and they kiss Carrie's ass so much. Why do they keep bigging up Carrie and just like, oh, she's noble. She's wearing her grief so well. She's such a good friend. She got out of her grief for a moment because she knew this was important. So let's say, what is going on? What kind of damn blackmail does Sarah Jessica Parker have on these folks? Why do they keep just bigging up Carrie? Am I tripping? Like, they just keep. Okay, y'all, we get it. Carrie is the second coming of Jesus. Like, calm down. Like, y'all can stop now.
I have to start all over
it
again.
was perfect, and I have to start all over again. And then Carrie says, I know how you feel.
Well, and then another great moment of grace, because it's the grief of a child really over her jewels that have been stolen versus the real.
Well, it's all about
loss.
the thing that you love and that you worked hard at. And Lizette worked.
And they're skipping over the stupidity of the show. They're just talking about all the set and agree. Why don't y'all talk about the dumbass robbery scene when her jewelry was taken? That was the dumbest robbery I have ever seen in my life. Literally. And the most useless security. Why are y'all not talking about?
As
really
Carrie says at the show, I was always wondering what she was doing down there. But she worked really hard to make that jewelry and to have it just ripped away from her, literally. And, you know, Seema worked really hard to get the money for that Birkin to have it ripped away. And Carrie worked really hard at that relationship to have it ripped away. So they're all deeply connected. And what's fun about it is they're one of the original characters and 2 of the new characters, and they're all knit into this theme together. And we have our 2 other original characters sort of on their own tracks. You have, you know, Charlotte and LTW having a MILF.
Very serious
On a
story.
very important episode of And Just Like
We
That.
had to balance the nutritional elements of the meal of the show.
Sure.
The grief with
I mean,
the
okay, so
food.
talk
Why are
a
they
little bit
laughing?
about why we did MILF and the context of MILF. It's not about MILF. That's like 1990s. But what did we
I
do?
didn't do nothing funny.
I will say,
Why
that
was everyone cackling?
I've only been a parent in this age, so I can't compare it to other eras of parenting. But I will say that as a parent of kids in private schools in New York, and from what I hear from other people who are in private school settings, there is a justifiably earnest tenor where everybody's dealing with very serious issues in the world and in our society. And our schools are feeling a lot of pressure to message correctly and be perfect and be conscious and be sensitive and be everything, be equitable. And all of this pressure has come down on schools. And so
the principal was
sometimes,
reminding me of
occasionally,
like a
it's
cartoon.
kind of funny
Like a
what we
principal
get
from a
from our
cartoon.
schools. So how could we address that and send that up in a way that
What is
isn't
that address?
offensive or making light of serious situations? And I believe it was Susan who came up with
Ain't
the
that all the
MILF
show do is make
which
light of
to
serious
me
situations?
was just a
What
bullseye
show is y'all
for
watching?
something funny and I think harmless. Someone out there might feel differently.
No. What's great about the MILF list, it's a perfect example of an understandable, not hot button topic that's treated as though it is, because the administration of this school is so hyper aware of doing everything correct that they overcorrect on a MILF list. And also because our 2 characters are irreverent in like, we're going to get the list. And that they're number 2 and 3.
And how
not my
embarrassing and
society.
giddy they are when they
What are
discover
they
that. By the way,
talking
I just
about,
want to
y'all?
say, as the parent of kids in public schools, that it exists there too. Like
Yes.
this
These people, y'all, I
cautious,
literally cannot live.
wanting to communicate.
I'm trying to be nice on this Sabbath, but these sound like the most pretentious ass, like full of themselves people I have ever. What? First of all, what are they even freaking talking about? I've never heard such gibberish. This is like, what is that stupid cartoon that when he talk, you just hear wah 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 wah. That's all I hear when they talk. Wah 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 wah. Carrie's great. Wah 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 wah. We thought this be so funny. Wah 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 wah. That's all I hear. What the fuck are they talking about? Y'all, I literally I cannot. Like, they're talking about, we have these serious issues in society, and how do we tackle this? And, not make anything offensive. I got it. MILF list. Really? For real? Okay. I Joe.
The parents, a certain ethos
We
from
want
the
to.
school.
They want to right the wrongs. It comes from a great place.
It
but
does come from a place of
sometimes it's funny.
kindness, but
And
sometimes
then you
They
get
say the word
then
funny
you
one
get
more
an actor
time.
like Tim
Talking
Badley
about a
that plays
show
Ray, who
that
is
is
like
anything
so
but funny.
pointed in
I'm
his
on that.
comic
By the way,
energy.
can we talk
And also
about-
the other fun thing about this little storyline is the rest of the Zoom mommies are in it.
Thing
The
about the
Charlotte
The little
LTW,
crew from
the little
last
crew
year.
from
Yeah.
last year as well. But our course correction from the writing room was at the lunch scene when the MILF list was opened and they squeal, and then you have Carrie
Squealing like
and
pigs.
Naya being not on board with it. And then Naya even says,
And
shouldn't we be talking
Naya's
about more important
dialogue in
things?
that scene
And
was so
this
unnatural and so
moment at the
cringe.
lunch was sort of an important inflection point, I think, for us, because we hopefully have earned the right to have our new characters come out to lunch with our old characters and not make it a thing. It was not an event. You saw LTW and Naya racing from
Whoa,
the
whoa,
the
That
whoa,
was
recording.
really
whoa,
fun.
whoa. We've earned the right to have our new characters come to lunch and not make it a thing. Y'all made it a thing when you gave all the characters black folk accessories in season 1. Like, everybody got a black accessory at the exact same damn time. But now it's, I hope that everyone goes out to lunch with the old characters. No one makes it a thing. All right, Joe.
Well, that idea of Naya being in LTW's documentary,
No,
that
what
was a
is
fun
this
little
LTW
discovery. That
Once
we
again,
did.
the
Anybody
thread that
know
connects
right
all
now?
the characters
Put it in the
together,
comments.
how
What
can
is
you
that
make them out of
documentary
their own
about?
runways into just one big
Right. And
march?
she's interviewing Naya, whom Charlotte introduced her to.
Yes.
Because Naya is a professor of law. And one of the people in her documentary is Constance Baker Motley, who was a big inspiration to Ketanji Brown Jackson. And I love the irreverence and the giddiness and then the gravitas of these women in this show.
Well, it's that
because
same thing. Like, you're going to take a very big, strong stand, and then you're going to get hit by a cream
Yo,
pie and say, I'm not
Michael
all that
Jordan,
important.
it's
And that
me.
did with
Michael
the
is
text guy
fucking me.
during the interview with
Shut the fuck,
LTW.
Michael.
Yeah,
Naya
the
sort of
sound,
is, for
very
the first
hot
time,
sound guy. Yeah.
the scales have fallen from her married lady eyes,
Right.
and she sees a guy with a good arms and a shirt, and
His
LTW
arms
goes, yeah,
are
he's
not
fine.
that good.
And so
I'm just separated, so I'm not thinking that. I think you are.
I think
Why are they
so.
laughing
It's a way of
at
saying
me?
the
Like,
pilot light's
I'm
lit.
so confused
Here we
why they
go,
keep
and you
cackling.
take this
Why do they
very
keep
principled,
cackling?
very
I ain't
smart
laughed at
intellectual
this
character
podcast
who's a
yet.
little bit above the MILF thing. And in the next
Have
speech,
y'all
she's like, the
laughed?
sound guy texted me, and then
I
you're in
haven't.
LTW
But
squeal.
they're cackling.
So it's all really, the fun of it for us
I
is
LTW.
constantly playing with the idea of society, where we are, who these
Why
characters are,
are
and the
they
reaction to
laughing?
society.
And showing
It's
different
so
sides of their
serious.
character,
And
their
that these women don't
personalities.
take
I know I
themselves
have
too
a
seriously.
sense
But
of
also
humor.
that they would
And
be a
I'm
little
not
self-conscious with
laughing.
Naya there when Charlotte says,
Y'all
I promise you our
funny.
lunchtime
Like, I
fodder is
just
not
want
always
to
the lowbrow.
brand
And
y'all
Carrie
are
says, who
funny
you be?
behind
Right.
it.
So
Like,
it's a
just
way of saying,
brand
guys,
it with a
come
hot
on, be
motherfucking
on-
poker
Be on your
face.
best behavior.
But giving women the freedom that you can be this brilliant
Yes,
intellectual and at the same time be
Giddy.
delighted
You're still
when
a
it
little
comes
girl.
out.
Now, look, I agree. I get the sentiment of what they're saying. Yes, women can be multiple things. They can talk about something serious and then squeal like a pig going to slaughter when a cute boy texts them, whatever the hell. That ain't what came across in y'all dumb ass, stupid ass scene. That ain't what I got. I don't know what y'all got, because that ain't what I got watching that scene. I just got these damn 4 dopes doing the same dope-ish that they always do.
Sometimes.
Y'all did okay.
I
Whatever.
see.
Let's
That's great.
continue.
And the other thing that's great about the LTW saying, just speaking of exposition, the idea back in the first classroom scene, school scene, when she says, what does Miranda like? Is she
Why
a
are
person
they
or a flower
not?
person?
We
And Charlotte
done
says,
moved from
well, she's
them
still
at
in
the
LA.
school
I'll
to
give you the
Milk
number,
List
which
to the
gets us
lunch,
to
and we ain't
Miranda,
talked about
who
them
is now
moving
in the
that kid
third
yet. Are they not
section,
gonna talk about that?
Act 3,
Y'all wrote
Chapter 3, Part 3 of her honeymoon.
The idyllic getaway to
And
LA.
what's fun about this to me is that it's now we're
LA
able to
is
start to
Miranda's
really
honeymoon?
focus on what Che's
What did they
show is, what that life is,
and
how
what
they're
their problem is. With
We don't give a
you
and
know,
what
how
her
much
life
pressure
is
they're
out
under.
there.
And it starts with I think a really funny scene that Julian Elise
And they go
about
saying something was
Che
funny
doing the lines
again.
with Miranda,
Did not
and
start with a
Miranda
funny
constantly
scene.
reminding
Sorry,
Che that they have
Michael.
to cry in the scene. And
They
Che says, no, I
Joe.
don't have to cry. It's not important. And then it says you cry, you cry, you cry, you cry. And to me, what I love about that is someone who is not in
I'm
the
so sick of them
business,
laughing.
not
Like, I'm
theatrical,
so sick of them laughing because
a
they
lawyer
funny.
reading a contract and saying to the artist, you have to cry now.
Yes.
Go ahead.
well, also Cynthia is such a good actor. She could play Miranda.
Now that was funny.
Terrible
Cynthia
actor,
is
but
such a good
just
actor. Now
right.
that's
Oh,
funny.
she's not
How
great.
about that?
Actually
Yeah,
reading.
She was having a lot
Now
of
that's
fun with
little
that.
cannoli.
But if you look at the beautiful panorama scene of this beautiful little bungalow, and they're having blood orange juice, and it's this idyllic couple rather than like they're
What
both on a
the
soapbox or they're both
idyllic couple?
crying. It's just like here's
That's
this.
the second funniest thing they have said. Saying Cynthia Nixon, such a great actor. No, I'll laugh at that. Idyllic couple. Who thinks Miranda and Che are an idyllic couple. Two giraffes are more of an idyllic couple to me than Che. Y'all, do they believe the smoke they blowing up our behinds? Like, do they believe it? Idyllic couple? Che and Miranda? These people are so obnoxious. I'm so sorry. I ain't want to talk bad about these people on this Sabbath, but they are so obnoxious and they are so full of themselves. I don't know how they can even exist in the world with a head as big as it is. How can all of them even fit in the same damn room with their heads so big?
Day, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Che doesn't want to say a certain line because it represents a part of the non-binary experience that they do not want to reflect as truthful, which is that they're not happy. And it's that thing of, here's a version of you that somebody's telling
If I
you,
was Che, I wouldn't be happy. Not because I'm non-binary, but because I'm a comedian that's not motherfucking funny.
Which is very profound for Che.
That's a very
But they're trapped. They
sad
have
life.
to do it. It's Hollywood. It's TV. It's their big break, coupled with the nonsensical problem that Miranda's having with her new Android phone because she lost her iPhone on the beach. So now she has a phone that she can't really control, which is important for the
Why
plot.
she couldn't just get another iPhone?
Miranda has a lot going on in this episode. We
missing
somehow
something?
managed to get the tattoo in there.
Miranda
and
got
the
nothing
Brady
going on in this
call.
episode.
What the tattoo
What are
means
y'all
for
talking about?
Lisa.
This was something that was floating through, I think, a number of our minds about in between the seasons. Like,
floating through y'all mind.
as we think of the characters as real women, I know several
I
of
don't
my
think
friends
these
who
characters as real women.
late in life, in their 40s and 50s, getting tattoos. It's become so common and commonplace, I should say, to do it. And so it had floated through my head like someone should. It
Ain't
suddenly
nothing
seemed like the
floating through your
perfect
head but
thing
air,
for
lady.
Miranda to more as we talked about it seemed like
Yeah, well,
she
Che-
definitely would do it.
First
Someone
off, Che has
don't
it.
get
Yes,
Miranda
yes,
back to
and
a law
also in
firm
LA. Oh my God!
status.
I mean,
It's
yes,
comic too.
everywhere.
But it's
But
also marking this
She
huge
working,
transition
talking
in
into
her
somebody's
life.
law
And she's
firm
working
chair.
from one thing to another. And we spent a lot of time debating what the tattoo
okay,
should be.
I was just gonna say
Yes,
when
we
we were
spent
sent
hours.
when we were sent
How
off
about
the
y'all
script, we
debate
hadn't
was
nailed it
actually
down. We were
funny
talking maybe
and
something
put
about
that
a
in the
robot,
show?
and Elise and I had
I'm
cut
they
the
wasting time
outline
debating
in
on
half.
what the fuck
Elise took one half,
insignificant
I took the
ass
other half. I was
tattoo
writing
Miranda
the
gonna get that
tattoo
the
thing. I was
audience really
thinking
don't
like,
care about.
a robot that I
Y'all
just
could have
can't see it.
tattooed Bart
But
Simpson
I
on
didn't
her,
know
and
what
I
would
I
be
think you're
bad
understanding
about
now
it.
that Julie puts a lot of herself on trial as a writer. Julie's very, very in trial constantly.
Why do they keep laughing?
And we have
Can I
tried.
take off my
Sorry.
shirt and you see a giant robot tattoo on my back?
All right,
But we have to explain
anyway,
what the robot represented,
so the
Julie.
Nobody
robot
laughing
was
but y'all.
harkening back to last season's episode 3, in which Miranda is leaving the big Netflix special with Carrie and Charlotte and decides she's going to sneak back in and actually see Che and says, like, I decided, why am I just going right back home? Am I a little robot?
All right, let's fast forward this a bit because they just.
The interesting thing about Brady Hobbs, and it's really MH is before anybody else existed.
It's true,
Well,
you know.
and it was so symbolic of her reclaiming herself.
Mhm.
Well,
which
yeah,
is-
I mean, that's the
exactly.
thing that I like
It's-
about
yeah.
it, and especially the way it pans out
But
in
she
the show,
ain't
because she
what
basically
self is
goes
she
back to who
reclaiming,
she
child? Because
was,
it ain't
who she knew
her.
before even
self.
law,
Right.
before
Mhm.
Brady was
Shut up.
huge. She's choosing herself as a tattoo, but then she chooses her family over the significant person in her life, which is Che. So we wanted to show the differences between Che and thought, what's the strongest thing that could happen that would make
Y'all wanted
Miranda
to show
step
the
away from Che in this moment?
Right.
And
And
this
it was
was the
Brady's
best way y'all could show the
pain
differences
of being
between
in
two
Europe
people who couldn't
alone
be more
because his
different.
girlfriend broke up
Okay.
with him. And the distance
Mhm.
from not only her, but the distance from even New York, and the distance, he's in Amsterdam, she's in LA, she's not even in New York.
These
And
folks,
what he
they don't
says to
even,
her on the
y'all.
line going into the sitcom, that is so,
It
I
ain't
mean,
no extra understanding
phone is
listening to these
misfunctioned and
Which,
people.
as a
And
mom,
then,
is the
and then
worst
she
thing you
also
can
said
hear.
he also says, "I wish the car had hit me," and
Well,
that
that's the
is
big
that's
moment.
the Mike.
Charlie in danger. This is Che's big moment. Miranda literally wrecked it. I mean, those are both
okay, well, Miranda didn't
fair
wreck it, her phone
arguments.
wrecked it. She has every intention.
But she- but
she
not
broke the
the
rules.
That was the
phone
dumbest
Well,
thing
let's
I
just-
ever saw
she
in my
broke the
life.
sitcom
For
rules. She also
somebody
broke-
who graduated law school to sit in an audience expecting a phone call and not put the phone on silent. Come on now, child.
the marriage rules
Right.
and the mother rules
Right.
and the hetero lady rules. She broke a lot of rules
Mhm.
in her world.
Yes.
And she put her phone down her pants.
Well, and she was trying to be all things to all people, which
That's
I
right.
think moms often do.
No, we
Working
do,
moms, like
and-
we've tried to be in both places and end up pissing
And it
off
never
both
works out.
places.
And also
Blows
for
up
the
in your
audience,
face.
we
Why are you
made
doing
sure
that?
we
Put
also
your
threw
phone
into the
on
mix that
silent.
Che says earlier. He's in Europe with his girlfriend having fun. He's not thinking about
Right.
you. So it's already like, oh yeah, he's having fun. So in Che's head, it's not a drama.
Right.
It's just a destroyed sitcom, which
And-
is everything to Che.
And we talked a lot in the room about the differences between them and showing those
Wait
fault
a
lines.
minute.
Mhm.
So
And
Miranda
how they got
messing
bigger
up
and bigger
one
and
take
bigger.
in
And
the
the other
destroyed damn
exciting differences
sitcom?
between
What
them
they
and the
talking
difference
about?
between the style of television that is present in the show, because Susan and I have worked on many, many sitcoms with an
What
audience. So the
sitcoms they
the
work
idea
on?
that we were actually able to do
Please
Che
tell me now.
Pasa and have
must be the
the
ones that
amazing
weren't
Tony
funny.
Danza, who stepped onto that very realistic sitcom set. I mean, we were designing that. I just kept saying faker. faker, bigger.
Also,
and he has a ridiculous joke apron on. It was every clam that we've ever wanted to see.
Clam, by the way, is a sitcom writing term. It's when a joke is overused. It's a clam.
and
Well, what's
little
the
fun
term
fact
used
for
in
people who like
sitcom
this kind of
writing
thing:
when a joke
the
isn't funny?
sitcom itself was shot in New York, but the line and everything outside coming into the studio was in LA on the Warner Brothers lot. So
Right.
again, trippy.
Shut up.
That they're actually going. And I was like, oh my
At
God.
themselves.
And crying about their journey as they funnel it through Che's TV pilot. And then the most meta thing is we're recording it. I'm in front of the monitor.
Y'all, they
and I
really
turn
think
around
they
to
got some
Lisa and I go,
bright
"This is really
ideas."
working."
Like,
And
they
I
really
go,
think
"Yeah,
they
it's
are
like,
doing
they're
amazing
and
mirror,
they're
work.
doing to their
dolls.
shitty writers. And then I said, but ours is good, right? I mean, it was just,
If it's anything that can be learned from this, delusion can take you far in life, Chad. Woo, delusion. You can be riding high.
Like we weren't crying, but we were
we
laughing.
but
our
we were
asses
laughing
off.
at
It
the
was so
laughing.
funny.
We were looking away from the thing we had written and congratulating ourselves the exact same way the clowns that we were making fun of were doing. So anyway,
Our own cream
Sadly,
pie.
I was on another unit that day, so I got to hear it.
I mean,
all.
but we couldn't stop.
Y'all,
To us,
these
first
people
of all,
are
the
laughing
incredible treat of
hysterically.
getting to actually do Che Pasa, because like
Just
every
calling
now
it
and
Che
then I
Pasta.
get a little zeitgeist pop where somebody will say something in the world, like it's like a funny joke, and like in a Twitter moment you'll see something. And when the trailer came out for In Just Like That season 2, I saw one person say, "But the real question is, what happened to their pilot?" Like we would not ever follow that thread.
Well,
Like
you
we
don't
threw it away.
follow
Like that's
none
just
of
TV
the
writing.
threads,
But we
sir.
went
Oh,
right
hell
into
no.
it. We went right into Che Pasa, and more to come about Che
This is
Pasa.
one
But
thread
the
y'all
big
could have
thing
let
was
them
Miranda's
shrivel
phone
and
went
die.
off, which destroyed the most important thing to Che. And then Miranda says, he's the most important thing to me about Brady.
And
Let's
this
be
was the
real.
first.
Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. Yes, Miranda was a big dope and an idiot and a clown, as she has been since the first episode of last season. But this is such a stretch for them to be talking about how she ruined. Yo, they are filming the sitcom. That means you can record, then they edit it, then they air it. Nothing is damn ruined. Why do they keep talking like the sitcom is just ruined, like it's over? Y'all can just record another take. Like, am I missing something? Why do they keep saying it's ruined? I can't. I'm so done with these folks. What did I just do? Here we go.
Real fight that they have that no one backs down. They each have a strong argument, but we wanted.
I feel very strongly that they don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think America's going to be on Che's side at all. Actors will. And everybody else, it goes like, as Miranda says, I had my own real family scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
You
totally.
know what? That's the first thing he has said that shows he's clued into what the audience is thinking in the slightest. Literally just that. So that's my second nice thing I can say to them.
I understand, Che.
I mean,
I'm on the
as-
record.
Yeah, you're right.
As-
You are. You're the one person who's sympathetic with that argument. Like,
Right.
of course.
I
I
guess
just want to say though something about the process. I mean, the person who said, "Are they going to follow up with the sitcom?" That's how minute our vision of this world is. This is all real to us. This is how deluded we
Right.
are.
We make pretend every day.
Oh,
we
yeah,
do
y'all
everything.
we
deluded.
were going to
Deluded.
forget that. Yeah.
We know what the
And-
documentary that LTW is doing is about. We know what the sitcom was. We even have lines for the sitcom. All this has to be created. And one of our writers
my
actually, I think, had to write some dialogue
Oh yeah.
to put on the
fake pages. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
the interesting thing is the sitcom script that they're holding, Che Pasa, is an actual script that Rachel Palmer spent time a little bit, and they decide they'll see each other back in New York. This show is going to be huge, which is all really anybody wants to hear
Right.
when they're in the middle of something.
Right. And at least Miranda was smart enough to know to say that.
Miranda
Talk
is
about
smart in the
Charlotte Miranda.
sense.
That's
Oh my
she's
God.
no
Okay.
babes.
So when
Julie.
Miranda, after the awfulness of her phone going off and her getting booted out of there and fleeing, that
Yo.
call with Charlotte.
After Carrie lays down with Lisette, she gets enough, I don't know, strength. She faces it. She has to go back. Amanda, her
Oh, we're back
her
talking
about
publicist,
her.
who knows so much about her, even alludes to the last phone
Okay,
call.
I'm over this. Y'all. These are the most pompous, obnoxious, full of themselves, disconnected. I got no insight. I'm still feeling the same exact way about the show that I was feeling. Let's see what y'all have been saying, because these people are idiots. Like I can't. Oh no, we gotta suffer together, Monique. If I gotta listen to them writers stroking themselves for 45 minutes, y'all gotta listen to child. Hey, Cassie. I like when P Valley put COVID in the show. It showed how it affected the stripper economy. Carrie mentioning COVID was for further Carrie's privilege shenanigans. I haven't seen P-Valley, but that scenario sounds like it makes a lot more sense. Seema came after to help sell a house. Why do I feel like Seema like broke something or did something that Carrie was like holding on to regarding Big? I don't know. Hey, AK. The nobility of Carrie. Who in the world are they referring to? Carrie is a consummate narcissist. Child, the writers sound like narcissists. So when will you post your review on Epi 4? AK, I can't give you a definitive answer, hun. They hype her like she ain't some regular degular chick. It ain't even that she regular degular. It's just like y'all, the way they talk about, I'm talking about the whole bulk of that writers podcast just now was them just blowing smoke up Carrie's behind the whole time, just talking about how great she is, how noble she is, how great she's handling this girl. Oh, Carrie. So y'all calm down. Carrie is not that great. Like even the original Sex and the City Carrie, she wasn't that great. Like calm down. I don't even watch this show, but you are cracking me up and they sound stuck up. They sound extremely stuck up, Maya. They don't just sound stuck up. They are stuck up. Not my society. I don't know what the hell going on with these people. Y'all, I just can't. It's Carrie's world and we're all just living in it, honey. Extremely obnoxious, Jennifer. I mean, I can't even survive. Miranda is a bozo, Cassie. They're running to the bank with the show. Child, I'm talking about quick, fast, and in a hurry. The writing is self-serving. Extremely. And you can just tell by the way that they are like talking. And the thing though, that gets me the most listening to that, it was them laughing like, y'all, was I the only person tripping and confused? Like, why are y'all laughing? Like, it's like sitting at a funeral and the pastor is laughing. You just in the audience like, why is the pastor laughing? Like, that's how I felt listening to them just laughing. Oh, well, and we thought this scenario would be funny. And I'm just saying, like, baby, nothing was funny. Like, I want to laugh too. So let me in on why y'all laughing so I can laugh. Like, y'all. But these are the people that we making rich by watching this show. I mean, it's that, y'all. My brain cannot even process what I just listened to. Like, that was such a joke. Like, and I don't even want to say joke because nothing about them is funny. I mean, like, nothing. I just can't believe that they really think this is good. Like, they really think this stuff is funny. They really are deluded. Like, I just cannot understand. Oh my God. Oh my, y'all. Like, and I was going to listen to them talk about a few other episodes, but that was so drab. Like, their podcast with the writers is literally just as lackluster as the series itself. I mean, that was almost a struggle for me to get through. Oh God, y'all. And they didn't even really talk about anything that I tuned in for them to talk about. They didn't talk about Charlotte, them at the school oogling that kid. They didn't actually bring up certain stuff that they put in the show. Like, they didn't actually talk about the stuff that they wrote. Like, what kind of writers podcast is this? Y'all ain't even really talking about what y'all wrote. Y'all, these people, I tuned in because I was like, you know what? I want to finally hit this podcast because this episode was so them just jumping out the window. I'm like, they didn't talk about LTW's mother-in-law, the taxi scene. They didn't actually talk about any of the stuff that I went in to hear them talk about. Like, they didn't mention none of those storylines at all. Like, what did I tune in for? Like, that's what I came for. Oh my gosh. No, they take responsibility for the fact that they really think this is all funny. Like, they really think this is groundbreaking, funny, amazing writing and television. I needed some answers on the MILF list decision. The lusting of the teen boy was a choice. They did not give us any answers at all. Now, they did give us a little answer about the MILF list. I don't know when you jumped in, Cassie, but or maybe I kind of fast forwarded through that section, but they were talking about we're facing these issues in society and how do we tackle it? I know we're bringing a MILF list. Child, that was their way of tackling some hot button issues in society, even though I don't know who got a hot button on the MILF list, but whatever the hell, child. What? Y'all, nobody, I'm telling y'all, nobody knows what that documentary is about. They will make it about Carrie. Child, in the end, the documentary might be about Carrie, but I'm literally sitting here like, can anybody say what LTW's documentary is about? She filming a documentary, and that's like the extent of what I know about it. They live a shared delusion. I mean, like, seriously, they really do, Marie. They really do. Gabriel, I'm talking about I'm suffering, but you know what? I'm here for y'all, okay? I'm here. I mean, I'm dying and I'm shortening my lifespan, but I'm here. But y'all, and I said after season 1 that I was not going to watch season 2. Like, I was literally maybe, I don't know, a month before this season 2 started, I was so adamant that I was not going to watch season 2. I was like, I don't care about anything. I'm not watching season 2. I refuse to be a part of it. I don't want to give them no viewership. I just did not want nothing to do with it. But then I was like, I forgot what I saw floating around Twitter or something online, and it made me interested. Like, you know what? I want to actually see what they're going to do with season 2. Let me tune in. Let me see if they took, y'all might hear my dogs, child. They're right here wrestling and playing. Y'all, I can't control these mutts. They do what they do. But I was like, I really want to see, did they take any critique? Are they going to implement any of the criticism? Because criticism isn't always like a bad thing. You take a critique and then you fix the product, right? So I was like, let me tune in. Let me see. Y'all, no. Nope, they took no criticism. And I found it funny that Michael was like, oh, I saw someone comment about what about the sitcom? You didn't see none of the other comments about how much we hate Shay? You just zoned in on that comment. But y'all, this show, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I just can't even survive. I just really can't. It is a train wreck. I can't stop watching at this point. Jennifer, you know what? I could stop watching. I might stop watching. I don't know. I'm not watching the show. I'm only watching your reviews. When you said, and just like that, I got cold. That's literally what Carrie said. Like, literal. That was the line. And just like that, I got cold. That was the line. They need to make a Lifetime cheesy movie about the making of this reboot. No, they don't need to make no more money. They don't need anything else made about these people because they think they're great. So the whole Lifetime thing, they're going to just feel like, oh, we're so wonderful. They're going to pay homage to us. Like, it don't register for them. They're psychotic. And I think they made a documentary about the first season of And Just Like That. Y'all went in a documentary of the first season of And Just Like That. Am I remembering correctly? They didn't talk about anything on the episode because it was filler. They throw nonsense at a wall, hope it sticks, and add some BS with the writer's room. Child. Yeah, you're right, Erica. You're right. Hello, King Nikki. I don't watch it. I just listen to you. You sacrifice for us. Thank you, mother. Miss Lisa is my mother. But man, I halfway feel like I'm done with this show. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just. Then the other half of me is like, let me just see it through. Like, I done started. Like, I'm here. I might as well just. I'm halfway into the depths of hell. I might as well go all the way. How would LTW's husband not know how to catch a cab in NYC? Gabriel, you know what my thing is with that storyline? Now, 150 billion%, Yeah, maybe a black person can't catch a cab in New York, but it's going to be a certain type of black person or white person. Like if you would put some bummy, like white person who look like they homeless and living on, yeah, the taxi probably gonna pass them right by. But baby, a light skin, bright skin, black guy, clean, all clean with the suit on in the neighborhood he in front of the house he in, hell no. Ain't no cab passing by. I don't care. And he not, like, the cab just isn't. And multiple cabs? No, it's not happening. And I don't care. And you can't convince me otherwise. You just cannot. And you mean to tell me he couldn't call a private car? Like, baby, you got money on money on money. Why are you getting into a cab? And I know that's like New York culture. They like catch cabs, but you can hire a private car. You can call up a car real easy. Yeah, the shenanigans on this show really irk me. It just, I don't buy that seed. And it irks me because y'all finally put black characters in, and this what we doing with them? Like, for real? I mean, has Harry ever had any issues of like anti-Semitism or anything? Like, he's Jewish, but him being Jewish isn't like a thing. But LTW's husband being black is a thing. Like, y'all, these people ain't got the sense God gave a duck. I mean, they just don't. Thank you, Marie. Have you seen episode 4 yet? No, I haven't seen it because, y'all, this is what I do. And thank you so much for the super chat, Marie. This is what I do, okay? Like the show Dead City that I'm covering on my show, on my channel. I actually enjoy that show. So I watch it. I don't do my video yet because, you know, I might watch it while I'm like doing something. I might watch it at just a time I can't record. And then I'll watch it again when it's time for me to record. So like it's fresh in my head and I can know what I'm talking about. A show like it, just like that, where I'm literally about to die, I don't watch it until I'm fit to record about it. Because I'm not sitting through that issue like multiple times. I can't do it. So I have not seen episode 4 yet because I have not had a chance to record it. I was at the movie theaters yesterday and then I did some other content for some other stuff. And my plan was to watch and record and upload episode 4 this morning, but I uploaded some other stuff and I was busy. And next thing I knew, it was about to be time for this live chat, and I have not gotten around to it yet. People that are that rich have private drivers like Big. Exactly, Gabriel. Like, it's just other options besides standing out there trying to catch a taxi cab. It just is. We're all going to hate watch into season 3, I fear. Oh, no, Cassie, that's a fear for yourself, ma'am, because I am not watching season 3. And the devil is a liar and the Lord is my witness. I will not. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Why did they have to do that to Herbert? They never exposed Harry to anti-Semitism or Steve to real ableism. Well, Steve kind of faced ableism when it came to his damn wife, child. But yes, Marie, I completely agree and I get the sentiment. Yes, that is my mother. Y'all, when I tell you, y'all know how these writers are so deluded and are just in there puffing smoke up their own behind. I remember I went to a performing arts school and everybody had like a major, like it was dance or it was acting. Mine was writing. And I remember we had this writing assignment, right? And the teacher wanted us to like enlist someone to critique our writing. And she had specific instructions that it could not be your parent because parents will lie and tell you something's good. I was like, no, baby, not my mama. No, I ain't got that kind of mama. Like, I'm talking about from childhood through adulthood. I have never had that mama to be like, oh, you're great. Oh, that was great, when really it was terrible. Like, I feel like these writers might have the kind of parents that my writing teacher was talking about. That's just going to be like, oh, yeah, my child is amazing. When you know your child is like freaking terrible. Like, if my mama say something I'm doing is good, and I'm like, oh, okay. I must have did good. She would not. No. She wouldn't. Then his mom is embarrassed of him and the cap. Tiffany. And then, you know what? Oh, Jesus. this is just not the show to tackle this issue, but there was actually something there in the issue of respectability politics amongst the black community, especially the older generation. I mean, my grandmother loves to talk about how she used to work for rich white folk, and she loves to think she is higher than people because she's very light skinned, very light skinned, and she got a problem, and she'll say something if your hair is like kinky, if it's not straight. That does exist. More so in my experience in the older community, like they are dead set on your proximity to whiteness being the best thing for you as a black person. Like your proximity to whiteness you need to be close over there. So in essence, her LTW's mother-in-law, that could be a real situation they could have tackled, but they ain't the people to tackle it. They did it terribly. And then LTW's reaction, first of all, the stuff that the mother-in-law was saying was just silly. What was the line she said about the dang headscarf the LTW had on? That was the dumbest line I've heard in my life. But also when LTW agreed with her mother-in-law when they were trying to make it seem like, y'all, what's her husband's name? When they were trying to make it seem like the husband was acting like a damn hooligan and a wild man. He was not. He was very calm. He was very tame. I mean, I done seen folks act out, and that was low on the scale. But I want to say LTW, I want to say it's like younger than my mother. Like that generation, no, I don't see that being a real thing where she is in agreement with the mother. No. But y'all just heard the idiots that wrote this stuff, so we can't really, expect much. You watch twice, you deserve an award. Oh no, Gabriel. No, sir. Not in Just Like That. I do not watch in Just Like That twice. Some of the other stuff that I review, I watch multiple times. If I really enjoy it, I might watch it 2 or 3 times. But and Just Like That, I don't watch twice. No, I don't want to watch it the one time because I kind of feel like, and you tend to, you know how you watch something, you get a certain thing from it, you think a certain thing, but as time passes and you thinking about it, you come up with more stuff. That's why I like to watch stuff. Oh shoot, hit my mic. That's why I like to watch stuff multiple times, because I may not see something at first, I may not get something at first, I may start thinking something else, watching it again. I like to watch stuff more than one time, because if I'm talking about something, recording it, like I'm kind of putting something in stone, I want to kind of know what I'm talking about, what I feel about it. No, not when it's Just Like That. Like, I'm not using that many brain cells for something like this. Like, I'm just not. And Just Like That, hate watchers are dropping like flies. Real Housewife recaps tapped out. Marie, I might be behind Real Housewives. Like, I might be there. I cannot even with a season 3. Let me tell you, child. I'm finna tell you like this. I'd rather date Shay Diaz than watch season 3 of it Just Like That. Like, that is how adamant I am. I'm not watching season 3. Like, I'm not. It ain't happening. The devil is a lie. I personally know NYC taxi drivers, and they wouldn't pass up business, especially following COVID, when Uber and Lyft is taking over. A lot of them do Uber and Lyft simultaneously. And you know what? That's a really good point, Erica, because let's say you are like prejudiced or something. All money is green. Like, in these times, in this economy, you passing up money. Like, you're right. That's a good point. Did Steve really choose to move out of the brownstone? That is so sad. Justice for Steve. Where's Steve at, y'all? Hello to you also. I'm trying to be in the background, but she announced who I was when I'm trying to be inconspicuous. How you inconspicuous, mama, if you're commenting? Mother Wexley is the worst. Literal the worst. They do woke so badly. They do everything. They do funny badly. They do fashion badly. They do women badly. They do a cup of tea badly. They do restaurants badly. They do script writing badly. They do everything badly. They do badly. Like, Herbert is a mama's boy. He could be, Chad. Herbert is, I don't even know what to call Herbert. Are any of the writers? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, they were saying they had like 2 Black women writers. I don't know the ethnicity of everyone else. I don't know if it's just all. I think Michael is white. I don't know the other people. I was really surprised LTW agreed with her mother-in-law. All of it made me mad. Cassie, because it's unrealistic that she would agree with her mother-in-law. And then that's the thing. You can't just say, oh, we have a Black writer. So no, sir. No. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You and Real Housewives recap are my fave. Thank you, Flower Shop. Thank you so much. There's no way a Black person wrote that headscarf line. I was so upset. KK, the thing is, they're working for someone. They're going to have to write what the folks tell them to write. That headscarf line was the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. And I done heard some dumb-ish. Like, that was... I literally almost broke my neck the way I like cocked my head in confusion when she said, first of all, the line was just asinine. She said, so no, what was the line exactly? Something about the proclamation of, y'all, what was the line? But it was so asinine. It was stupid. It was illogical. It didn't even make no sense. Like, it was just, I want to say, Black lady, how you go to sleep with that wig on your head? What you do? It ain't, I mean, she's in the privacy of her home. She's going to sleep. She's covering her hair to protect her hairstyle and her hair. Like, it was just so dumb. It was just dumb. But they were in the writer's room like, oh, yo, this is great. This is amazing. Oh, my golly, we got it. No, Joe. It wasn't a win. It wasn't. Oh, wait. Sorry, I skipped some comments. Where we at? Why was Shay mad that Miranda had a husband if they had one too? Gabriel! That is the $1 million question. I been sitting here like, you made a big deal about we could have both had husbands and just been doing our motherfucking thing. Like, and the thing that is so ridiculous, it's not just that Shay has a husband. It's not just that Miranda was cheating on her husband. It's the fact that Shay made it a big deal. Shay made the whole Miranda being married thing like a hard line, like a deal break. Like, it was the big, but you never thought you needed to. And then, oh, y'all, this might just be my thing, but don't spring nothing on me. I cannot stand that. Don't surprise me with nothing. You really gonna send the husband that I don't know nothing about to pick me up and then gaslit the hell out of Miranda when she brought it up? Oh, no, ma'am. No, we're not doing that. We are not. I almost turned off my whole TV. KK, I'm with you, girl. It was ridiculous. I mean, like, it just, they finally put Black people on the show and they can't just sip cocktails and wear cool shoes like the white people. They got to bring up self. Not self. But I mean, let's be clear. Anytime the universe of Sex and the City had Black people on, it wasn't very, let me choose my wording. I mean, the person they did the best to me was, my mind blanking. What was old boy name? Blair Underwood, Miranda's doctor boyfriend. They kind of did his character the best. But when we had Samantha dating the music exec and his sister was all like, my brother's not going to date a white woman. And then they got into the physical fight and all. That was such bullshit. Like, I'm just like, keep Black folk out y'all universe. Please keep Black folk out y'all universe. We good. We good. Also, Charlotte is terrible. You know what, though? Honestly, Charlotte ain't the... Charlotte, this is why if you terrible, you need to hang around more terrible people because then you look better. Charlotte really is the least of my problems with this show. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. She just really is. Like, in comparison to how terrible everybody else is, Child, Charlotte is good in my book right now. Like, I really ain't got no problems with Charlotte. She a terrible parent. God forgive me. I ain't got no kids. I can't be calling folks terrible parents, but Charlotte is a terrible parent. I'm sorry, but she is. But I ain't got no problems with Charlotte. Charlotte can do her thing, child. Charlotte ain't got no life either. We talk about how Miranda ain't got no life besides following behind Che, but Charlotte really ain't got no life either. Yeah, shout out Marie and your commentary. Thank you, Flower Shop. I didn't know you do commentary. Marie, where you been hiding? I'm confused on what Che and Miranda are doing in general. Last season, didn't Che say they didn't do relations? Is that not an issue for Miranda? KK, you are absolutely right. Che did say that. Y'all gotta be jogging my memory because this show just, I'll be forgetting. But you're right. Che did say that. Che wanted to be loosey-goosey and have fun. They didn't want anything serious. Yes, KK, we love Marie. Miranda was cheating on her husband with Che. Che and her ex has an arrangement, but Che probably wanted to be Miranda's main partner, if not only partner, and Che is too withholding. Momai, I think that's how you pronounce that. Momai, did I say that right? You know what? That is a good point because Miranda was actively in her marriage and Che isn't. And I mean, I know somebody like that in real life. My homeboy done been dating this girl for like 6 years and she's still married because her and old boy just ain't never actually went to get divorced. Like, that is a thing where people are just married on paper but completely separate, not in a relationship. That's a thing. But baby, you need to tell your partner. They need to be aware that you are legally married. That needs to be said. I thought you were staying in the shadows, Ma. You used to love this Sex in the City. So what happened with this series? Did writers leave and get replaced? Did we get new producers, or is this where lightning just does not strike twice? You know what? I'm not even familiar on if we got new writers for and just like that, or if we have the same writers. Honestly, I'm not up on that. I don't know. Why isn't Carrie narrating but still says and just like that? Because there it is, Gabriel. Mommy. I think they're trying to set Charlotte up to have an affair with the artist she met at dinner. What? Charlotte have an affair? What artist did Charlotte meet at dinner? Was that episode 4? Who did she meet at dinner? Key Nikki is my, and just like that, hate watching so many. Thank you, Marie. But they better not have Charlotte have no damn affair. That does not fit. That is not Charlotte. That is not Charlotte in the slightest. That does not fit her character. I mean, just at all. Man, but I mean, hell, nothing Miranda doing fit her character. So, child, maybe Charlotte will have an affair. It'd be the most exciting thing she's done in 2 seasons of this show. That offered her a job. I saw that. Oh, somebody offered Charlotte a job, an artist that she met for dinner. Speaking of Carrie, I hate her now. Was she always this bad? She acts like a spoiled child, like Lily. KK, honestly, Carrie has always been spoiled, self-centered, obnoxious, but it was balanced by the fact that Carrie was fun and Carrie had a sense of humor. Carrie's a dud now. She really doesn't have her little snappy one-liners and little funny stuff she used to say on Sex and the City. So I feel like her bad traits are just more in the forefront now. Because you know how you got that friend who kind of get on your nerve, but at least they fun. So like, okay, we could be fun. Carrie don't even have the fun going on no more. I don't think Charlotte will have an affair. I think she's been set up. Take the job that the guy offered to her so that she can evolve beyond just being a wife and mom. Well, that would be a good setup because Charlotte has nothing going on for her. Like, I mean, nothing. I mean, none of the ladies do anything outside of the ones with an actual job, but Charlotte really ain't got nothing going on. They lost Darren Star, original creator, Candace Bushnell, who wrote the original book, Patricia Fields, stylist, and all their male writers, and of course Samantha. Oh shoot, child, they lost the whole dang team. Miranda was so adamant about being gray, and just like that, she dyed her hair red. You know what? I am remembering now. This is jogging my memory. She was wearing that ugly gray wig last season. And now she's back to the red hair, which is great. But you know, she's with a person that now Miranda, I guess, is trying to be a little hip. So maybe that's why the red hair is back. Please review episode 4. Erica, let me tell you, child. I don't know. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't know if I even care to watch episode 4. Like, and honestly, the stuff I've seen people say, like when I'm scrolling online, they're saying this episode 4 was like the worst episode so far. Like, I've heard nothing good about it, and I'm just like, oh hell, I don't know, y'all. Should I even waste my time on episode 4? I mean, really? Do y'all even care? Does anybody even care? I feel like nobody cares. Like, we can kind of just stop here. You ruined the family. Yo, that was the worst. Like, Shay is worse than the man. Like my child is in crisis. And Shay was just like, the thing that got me really with that scene was Shay being like, I hope he's okay. I really do. I'm just saying, like, can you put something in that? Like, can you actually make me believe you give a issue about my child? I don't know if I'm dramatic, because my friends say I'm over dramatic, but child, do you know how I would be reacting if my child is going through a heartbreak and baby, let me tell you, child, I'm burning everything down. Like, I am getting to my child. I don't care if you about to get sworn into Congress. I'm out, and I'm ruining all your ish, and I'm getting to my child. Like, I would not care if you about to be sworn in as president. I got to get to my child. My child is in crisis, and I got to go. And like I said, it don't even have to be the extreme of Brady being like, oh, I wish the cat would have hit me. All my child got to do is say, Mom, I got my first heartbreak. My girlfriend broke up with me. I'm there. I'm gone. I'm out. I'm got to dip. I don't care what's happening. I don't care what I'm in the middle of. I don't care what I'm supposed to be supporting somebody else doing. I got to get to my child. And I don't care how old my child is. They could be 30 having a heartbreak. They could be 19 having a heartbreak. I'm going to be there. But that's just me. I did not like, and like I said, should Shay be annoyed? Yeah, Miranda was a freaking idiot. You're expecting a phone call and you're sitting literally I could see if she wasn't sitting in the stands, she was standing off to the side where she's like literally can make a quick exit and her phone is on silent. And if that would have happened and Shay just look up and Miranda not there, that would be different. But for Miranda to say her dumbass at 60 years old, you ain't got the good goddamn sense. She's sitting in the middle of the row expecting a phone call. You literally told your son to call you back. And your phone is not on silent. Yeah, Shay should be annoyed. But for me, the dramatics of Miranda ruined the sitcom. No, babe. No, you're going too far. And I know I'm dramatic, but that's too much. I wouldn't even do that. And if I wouldn't flip out, then you know you're going too far. Like, it just ain't even worth it. You care, Gabriel? Okay, I got one person that care, child. It's a mess. I do want to hear your opinion, though. KK, y'all just want me to suffer. Like, that's all it is. Y'all really don't. If y'all don't like me, just say so. Like, just say that you don't like me and you want me to suffer. Like, just tell me the truth. It was the worst. You got to see it just for the craziness. Okay, Flower Shop. Y'all, I'll do episode 4. I'll do it. Don't say I ain't never cared about y'all and I ain't never did nothing for y'all, child. It was, I just read that. Episode 4 is hard to get through, but there are some parts that are kind of close to original Sex and the City. Also, they have Steve buffed up and punching a bag. Oh, Steve makes a return. Hopefully not giving a good god dang about Miranda. Yes, we care, girl. Okay, Erica. Child, honestly, I figure nobody even cares about this show no more. It is literally not good. Like, I feel like me and most people went into season 1 because we loved Sex in the City. We were excited that they were coming back. Maybe disappointed Samantha wasn't going to be there, but still like excited to go back into the world of Sex in the City. And then we got the mess that we got. And it's just like, wait, throw the whole show away. So now that we're at season 2, and I don't know about anybody else, but I went into season 2 like, okay, let me just give them a chance. Let me see what they're going to do. If they're going to do it, like, but they're not doing nothing. It's still terrible. So now I feel like, who gives a issue about the show? Does anybody care? Is anybody out there? Hello? I just feel like nobody cares anymore. It's kind of not necessary to watch episode 4. Just know that Charlotte was offered a job. Lisa's crabby in-law is back. Billy D. Williams is Lisa's dad. The rest of the cast talk about what? That's the episode. Okay, mommy. Shay gives Brady pie at the funeral and now doesn't even care if he was going to self-harm. Miranda, open your damn eye. I forgot all about that. Shay did give that lady's son illicit drugs. Are we supposed to like Shay? The writers act like this mess is sexy. Is this supposed to be the sexy story? You know what, KK? I do think that they expect us to like Shay. I think the writers love Shay. Like, I really do. I think the writers love Shay, and we're supposed to love her as well. We care. Please review it. Okay, I got you, Erica. I'll suffer. Gabriel, OMG, that's right. They should have at least had the decency to make her ringtone the old Nokia ringtone. She should have just had the decency to not have her. I mean, that is literally just the dumbest thing I have ever heard of in my entire life. Like, why in the world would the phone not be on silent? And if the whole thing is Miranda can't work an Android, you needed to be standing right in the doorway to just make a quick exit. Yes, it's baby. You must have saw her little tongue shooting up when she tried to get my face. I love you and I want you to suffer. You know what, Marie? I'll take your honesty, hon. Thank you. I can't promise that you'll enjoy episode 4. You can't promise me that. What? But I'm sure the audience would appreciate your review. Okay, I got y'all. I'll die. I'll die. I'll put myself on the cross. I just read that. Billy D. Williams is in episode 4. That was the best part for me. Throw the rest away. I like Billy D. Williams. I don't know what the hell he doing here, but I'm gonna stick it out. I'm waiting for Samantha. If they ruin her scenes, I'm out. They have ruined everything else, Erica. Why would they not ruin? Honestly, I'm not looking forward to Samantha's cameo. I'm honestly not, because I feel like it's going to be terrible and it's going to be disappointing. Look who the writing team is. Name one character they have done right. You know what? They have done Anthony right. Anthony is the bright spot in the show. Even though he really ain't got nothing to do, he funny. And that's that's more than I can say for any of the other characters. So, hey, maybe they will do well with Samantha. I mean, like, I doubt it, but hey, maybe they will. There's always hope. And just like that cast is the only people who like Shay. Yeah. They they really like her. They know that Shay is a character who folks love to hate. So that's why they won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And I also feel like Shay isn't going anywhere because Miranda and Shay are not breaking up. Like, I feel like they have, like, I hate to use the word agenda, but I feel like they have an agenda when it comes to Shay and Miranda. Like, Cynthia Nixon is putting her real life in the show. Like, leave your husband and go sail off into the sunset with a woman or a non-binary person. Like, they're not going to let this not be a happy ending for Miranda and Shay. Like, they're not. I mean, I don't think they are. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't think they're going to let this not be a happy ending. She treated Steve like complete trash, but to the show she didn't, because she get to go have a great life. And she was terrible to that man. It's one thing, and it's perfectly fine to be like, you know what? I don't want to be married no more. I'm not feeling this. I'm not even attracted to your same sex no more. I don't want nothing to do with this. That's perfectly fine. But the way Miranda treated Steve with his hearing loss, the whole attitude she had with him, it was terrible. But I guess to the show it wasn't, child, because Miranda is she's living well. What would be the premise of Shay's sitcom anyway? A TGIF style sitcom where a 50-year-old comes out of the closet as non-binary. Now, that was my only confusion, and maybe I'm ignorant, but how old is Shay? Now that I think about it, how old is Shay? Is she younger than the crew, or is she in her 50s and stuff like everybody else? I don't even know how old Shay is. And I don't want to say how old Shay looks, because, you know, looks can be deceiving. People can look older or younger than they really are. But how the hell old is Shay? But I thought that was odd, the scene they got of the terrible show within the show of Shay talking to her dad, like, and I get it's a thing when people come out, it can be hard. Your parents could be in denial, but you kind of up there in age, like, yo, Pappy don't already know that. I mean, you not a traditional daughter, like he ain't got nothing, like y'all just now having this conversation. I don't know, I thought that was strange. I would think by that age it would all kind of be out in the clear with your family, but hey, I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't live that life. Let me see, where was I? Samantha's scene is in the final episode. Oh, of course it's in the final episode. Of course they're gonna like keep you hanging on by a thread to keep watching. And it's supposed to be short and only would carry over the phone. So I doubt it'll be a good use of that character. Oh, I truly doubt it'll be a good use of the character, because now that I think about it, when I was just saying I'm not excited to see her, wasn't there some kind of stipulation that Kim Cattrall would not be in a scene with either Sarah Jessica Parker, or she wouldn't be in a scene with any of the three ladies? It was something along those lines. Where were we? Here we go. They'll probably make Samantha a nun. Child, I would love to see Samantha as a nun. Like, I would really love to see that. Like, I'm dead serious. So did they just erase Shay being Mexican in a sitcom, or did they erase the Irish part since Tony is Italian? They erased the Irish part, because what did Tony Dancer say? What was that dumb line that Italian is Irish with better food or something? Y'all, what was it he said? It was something stupid. But yeah, so in the sitcom, Shay is Italian Mexican, because gotta keep the Mexican part, as they said in the show. I don't think Shay is 50. I think in 30s. Okay, well, I guess coming out at 30s makes a lot more sense than coming out at 50. Yes, how would Tony Dancer not know? Sarah, the girl who plays Shay is 47 years old. But yeah, I think it makes more sense, though, from what we've seen, that the character would be in their 30s. I think that was correct. I think the character of Shay is likely in their 30s. That would make a lot more sense. Shay is probably in their 40s. Coming out to family can be difficult at any age. Still, with how Shay is portrayed, it seems like them coming out as non-binary would be their mildness characteristic. Wasn't Miranda a whole partner? Now she can't use an Android. It's hella user friendly. How has she regressed this much? That is not Miranda. She's possessed. And I am team Android. I don't want nothing to do with iPhone. I am Android for life. And it is a very user-friendly device. You are right about that. They should do Stanford scenes like they did Levia's. Who is Levia? Am I pronouncing that right? Scenes in The Sopranos. Oh, I never saw Sopranos. That's probably why I can't say that name. Just a bunch of chopped up CGI scenes spliced together from Sex and the City. Well, they said Stanford is in what? Japan? Something. Tokyo? He's somewhere, child, because, you know, he passed in real life. I don't think they should do CGI anything. They can't do the regular humans right. So please don't give me a CGI character. As an Irish person, I'm good. As an Irish, I feel like I said Iris. As an Irish person, I'm good with Shay drop. Like, don't claim us, babe. She ain't Irish. Go ahead, drop it. Drop that part. You don't want her part of your crew, Miss E. Erica Wright, Miranda is a whole clone. I'm telling y'all, Attack of the Body Snatchers. It ain't Miranda. They love to destroy brands. Peloton and Android. And this week I killed. They ain't destroy Android. Miranda is the one that's destroyed because she can't use the damn phone. But, and you know what? I did for a hop, skip, jump in a second. I think like earlier this year, be like, you know what? I'm going to finally join iPhone. But nah, I'm good on that. And everybody I know who has iPhone, they kind of complain about it. Like they always say when a new iPhone comes out, their phone don't be working right. And my little sister has iPhone and she's just like, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I'm like, yeah, and I have no problems with my phone. I love my phone. So I'm sticking with Android. And I know how to work the ringer. So the Irish have suffered enough. Missy, they don't need shade. Like, yes. Like, don't claim us. Child, I'm glad Shay ain't a black character, child, because look. I really have to throw this show away. Okay, guys. Miranda's tattoo. Really, that tattoo was so insignificant to me. Like, I really had no problem. Like, you got a tattoo, great. Like, that's the on the scale of all the stuff that y'all, I'm rocking, baby, because she falling asleep. Like, let me stop rocking. I'm sorry, y'all. Baby is laying in my arms going to sleep and I'll be rocking. That's why I call her baby. She literal, because I'm finna get sidetracked, y'all. But for anybody who doesn't know, I just found baby a few months ago. And I gave her a different name because I wanted to stick with my Z names. My first dog I had that passed, her name was Zala. My second dog that I still have, her name is Zaya. So I wanted to stick with my Z trend. Yes, I'm one of them people. Like if I had kids, their names would all start the same letter. I'm one of those people. And I gave her a certain name, but I just was like, this name don't fit you. You're like, this isn't like my name. Like I feel like I'm a Nicole. I'm a Nikki. I feel like she was not that name. I was like, you are literally a baby. Like you're a baby. So I named her baby. But I'm sitting here rocking her to sleep because it's like a thing we do. But I'm like, wait a minute, I'm probably making y'all dizzy. Let me stop. Let me stop rocking. But what was I saying? I got sidetracked. Oh, Miranda's tattoo. On the scale of all the stuff Miranda has done, like really, I'll take her going into that small scale when it comes to the stuff she's done. And I don't think that is far-fetched or unrealistic. Like a lot of people will get their first tattoo at 30, at 40, at 50, maybe even 60s. I don't know nobody at 60, but 40s and stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. You should get a KN tattoo on your wrist. Yo, I almost had a Miranda idiot moment because I literally was like, what is KN? Like literally I had to think for a second. Oh, King Nikki. But I wouldn't get a KN tattoo because I don't call myself, I don't know. Let me give y'all a little info on me and my channel. I don't call myself King like I do, like I am Nikki, that's my name. But my cousin passed away and his name was King, and I just wanted a way to represent him in whatever I do. So that's why my channel is King Nikki, because it's kind of like representing him. But I have been saying that I wanted to get a King tattoo in like remembrance of him. I just haven't had the mental and emotional capacity to actually do it. But KN, yeah, I probably wouldn't. But I do want to get like a King tattoo or something. I was thinking about like a raven with a king for him, but I'm still thinking because I'm not in the space to actually get it. At this point, they should just write Naya off the show. Why you want Naya gone, KK? What did Naya do? Why she gotta get written off? Cynthia has said that she played a role in the new version of Miranda. Of course she has, mommy. Like, of course. Which she shouldn't have. She wanted Miranda to basically be more evolved in her thinking. I think the show decided to basically make Miranda into Cynthia. You can definitely grow and be more evolved in your thinking without turning into a buffoon. But I mean, hey, maybe some people evolve into buffoons. KK, they should write everyone off. Child, if they write everybody off the show, y'all won't have no show. Why couldn't they say Stanford passed years before the show aired and have Anthony help Carrie grieve, since he would have had firsthand experience? They're doing his legacy a disservice. You know what? That could actually be a viable idea, to have it where Anthony is also grieving. But then I also feel like it may not be a viable idea, because the character of Anthony, that's a character I can't really take serious. Like, does that make sense to y'all? Like, he's such a, I mean, from Sex and the City to now, he's just always such a comedic relief. I don't know if I could take him seriously if he's like actual for real grieving. And I kind of feel like he wouldn't take, like, he would throw a joke in there. I just kind of feel like he would. But that could be a good idea, as opposed to just making it be like Stanford just, dipped out. They could have also recast Big's role. Yeah, I'm not hip to the situation, but you guys have said in the comments that Chris Noth, was supposed to, his character wasn't supposed to die, but something happened in real life and they wrote him out the show and killed off his character. But I also feel like a legacy character like Big, for me, you can't recast. Like, you can't. That's like recasting one of the Golden Girls. Like, you can't recast like an OG character. You kind of gotta, I guess, just write them off or kill them off. Mike Harlow is another hate watcher. I'm trying to convince him to tattoo MH on his. Why y'all trying to ruin lives out here? I bet that MH tattoo disappears and we never see it again. Likely. I love Naya, but they're doing nothing for her. Yeah, they really aren't. They really aren't. Marie, it'll be on the wrong wrist next episode, because y'all know they can't be consistent. I agree. A recast would not do. For Big, Nicole, yeah. They could have had Anthony grieving. He could have been a support to Carrie, since they would have gone through the same thing. Even with Stanford's loss, Anthony would have still kept it humorous. Yeah, Mommy, that's a good point. Because he's just such a comedic relief, but I agree. He probably would have added some humor. Like, I'm that kind of person. Like I said earlier in this video, I feel like you can find humor in anything, even tragic. Like, that's the only way to kind of get through. Like, it's this. Have y'all heard about them? I'm not laughing at. I'm finna say something that's gonna seem like that's what I'm laughing at, but I'm not. Y'all heard about the people going into that little submarine Titanic thing? That ain't why I'm laughing. But I saw something on Twitter like black people can't take nothing serious, and it was showing all these black folk like doing all this comedic stuff and joking about it. And somebody had commented that like, that's how we get through all the stuff we've been through. You have to laugh at it. That's how I feel about life in general. Like, I'm going to find something humorous. I'm going to find a way to lighten or make a joke. So yeah, I feel like Anthony, you're right. They could have had it where he lost Stanford. But then again, you know what? It could have been a moment for him to bond with Carrie, because I feel like him and Carrie ain't really that tight, especially with the whole taking his ticket, giving the ticket away. Well, you know what? He's supposed to be tight with Charlotte, and she took his ticket to the Met thing as well. So you know what? Really, Anthony just ain't got no real friends on the show. Like, none of these ladies are his real friend. Let me see. Where was I? Oh, I already read that. They need to give Anthony a story. Baby, they need to give Naya a story. They need to give LTW a story. They need to give Charlotte a story. Like, ain't nobody got a story. See Manita story. Stanford was such a sweet friend. Him belling like he did is very out of character. I completely agree, Gabriel. I completely agree. The actor who portrayed Stanford passed in real life, so Anthony would have helped her heal faster and interjected some real comedy into the show. I believe Chris Noth was dealing with a sex scandal, I believe, in real life, so that's why he was removed from the show. Okay. I knew y'all had commented something because I didn't know nothing. I guess some stuff I be living under a rock because I don't even be hearing about half of this stuff that be going on. Yes, Big was such a pivotal character like Samantha. Right. To me, recasting Big would be like recasting Samantha. Like, you just can't recast a OG character. They didn't address Stanford's death at all. What a shame. Yeah, I think they just randomly, if I remember correctly, randomly threw in one line about him being in Tokyo or something because apparently he sent Carrie something from Tokyo. Anthony is more so Charlotte's friend. Yeah, because it was like Stanford was Carrie's gay friend and Anthony was Charlotte's. I'm slow. Can someone explain the voiceover? And just like that, I got COVID. Did those dudes give Carrie COVID? Did her friend also get it? Yes. I took it as the guys come over to their table, or their end of the table, sit next to them, smooths a bit, and Carrie gets COVID from those guys. That's how I read it. The show isn't handling the removal of characters. The way they handled Samantha and Stanford was odd. I completely agree. 150 billion%. But the way this show handles just about everything is odd. I mean, if we gonna be honest. Can y'all hear my dog lick? Get away. The mic is right here. And you licking yourself. Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't be professional with dogs. Did she get over COVID by the next episode? I don't know, Gabriel. I haven't seen episode 4. But presumably she will. Okay, guys. Do we have any last thoughts before I sign up out of here? And I guess I will do episode 4. I'll watch. Not tonight, child. Ain't gonna happen tonight. I'm tired. I got work in the morning. But I will watch episode 4 tomorrow and record it and get it edited and posted tomorrow. Okay. So I am going to sign out. I am going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I'm going to think of a world where, and just like that does not exist. And, crime rates will probably lower. People will be happier. We won't have such a homeless population. Like, we won't have people going to hell. If we did not have this show, the world would just be a better place, because this show is the worst thing to ever happen to us since like the atomic bomb. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not watching season 3. Like, it's not happening. Like, we're gonna have to talk about some more stuff. Let's talk about anything else. We is not going into a season 3. Okay, let me see what y'all last little comments are, and then we're gonna sign up out of here. Marie, I can't. I'm not brave, Gabriel. Thanks for your great reviews. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. Thank you for my super chat, Marie. Thank you so much. It's like the writers made a bet to see who can ruin the show and still keep the audience. Y'all letting them keep the audience. Y'all doing it. Y'all are the audience, and y'all making me the audience. Have a good day, KK. People will find Birkins in the book. Y'all, okay, that's my cue. Thank y'all so much for supporting the channel. Thank you, Marie, for my super chat. Thank you. I'm so hyped. I just can't believe I got me a super chat. Now, see, if I could just, get 50, 100,000 super chats and then just quit my job and just do this, I'll be happy to watch terrible shows for y'all. But I can't spend my little 9-to-5 freedom just watching terrible stuff because I'm like, damn, I'm gonna watch something terrible, and then I'm gonna have to log in for work. But I will see y'all in the next video. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you. Thanks, Nicole. Say bye-bye, baby. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. She's such a cutie. She's such a cutie.